attach it to this truck. Well, underneath is right, that's right. Yes. All right. So for factory stuff, all cars are going to have tie-down points, which are not the same as tow points. So if you look on the far right, see that little hook right there? That is a tie-down point or a chain-down point. So when it's on a shipping container or on a car trailer or car hauler, that's what that's used for. It is not designed to be yanked on at all. Now, if you have to do it, you got to do it. You just got to be careful. Look on this side. What's the difference? Look on this side right here.
It's like maybe.
How's it different?
It has
It's not a hook.
It's not a hook, right? It's a closed eye. It's a closed system. So what would we prefer to use? Yeah, the closed system, right? The eye over here, right? What would, and so if we use, oh, you can stand up. So going back, if you put a lot of force with a tow strap, even a snap strap, but especially a tow strap, what is the thing that would possibly happen?
To yank it off?
Yeah, you're gonna yank those things off, which is bad for two reasons. What's the lesser of the two?
You can't tow it?
Point anymore.
You now broke the truck. Now you lost that attachment point. What's the worst of the two?
Flings out and hits you.
Yeah, what do you have flying through the air?
Metal.
A piece of metal. Very good, very good. Which, going back to the tow ball, that's why we don't use tow balls to yank people out. Then where's the thing?
And the tow ball's coming back towards the truck.
Correct.
Negative 2 broken
So,
trucks.
super simple. Even if you don't have any of the gear that you see here, and you just have a strap only, how can you, and let's say this is in my, let's say that's in the back, is in the receiver, and the tow ball is there. You're gonna, why did I set it down? What you're gonna do is you're gonna go up, pull the tow ball out, and now what do you have in the back of the truck? What's left is the hitch or the receiver, right? Which is a big square opening. This goes into that opening, the pin goes through, and then shabloink. Now this is what you're doing, right? Does that make sense? So everybody know what I'm talking about? So on the back of there's the whole hitch assembly, the receiver, there's a square hole that goes into, which normally has a tow ball. That comes out, goes in the back of your truck. This goes in, and you're just gonna use this pin, right? So this pin is strong enough. I've never seen one break, although I'm sure it's possible. But if it does fail, now what's flying through the air?
Strap.
Just the strap, right? Maybe it's a small piece, but it's nothing compared to a tow ball or a piece of the thing. All right? So, if anything, that's the right course of action. Even if you have a snatch strap, we're not going to do it off the tow ball. So how do we attach ourselves to the to this vehicle right here?
With
What could we do if we have nothing?
tie it.
Push it.
Just loop it on, right? Take this loop, put it on. If that's all you got, that's all you got. We never want to tie things because what's going to happen when it goes under load?
Yeah, it's super tight.
Yeah, you are not going to get it undone. Again, if that's all you got, then that's all you got. So what could I do? Let's say because of the distance, this isn't long enough. This isn't long enough. I want to tie them together, and I'm going to. What's something I could do to this knot? There is a unique knot that you can tie, but we won't go over it. What's something I could do to this to keep it from getting yanked?
Put something in the middle.
Yeah, something goes in the middle. What can I put? Does that make sense? I put something right here. Not a rock,
Not
but
your
a
arm.
super sturdy branch. Yeah, I'm talking about like, see the skinnier one to the right? At least that sturdy, right? It's dead, so we want at least something that thick. So it would not be unreasonable, see the one to the left, to break off a piece of that and put that in there. So no matter when it gets yanked, now what happens? Now we can slide that out, we can work it loose, or we can bust it up, and now we have space and we can untie our stuff instead of having to cut it. We'll go over 2 ways of attaching things. What's this called? Yep. Depends on where you're from. A shackle, bow shackle, clevis. So really just unscrews. They're weighted. We are not going to go over working load limits and things like that, but comes undone. attach it to whatever you want to attach it to. Pin goes in. Every time you're attaching somebody with threads or any sort of pin, you're gonna go all the way till it starts, till you feel the resistance. You don't crank these down, because once they're attached and they go under load, it's gonna force these threads into wherever they're received from, right? So every single time this does not seem right. I know it doesn't make sense to you, even me, I'm like, I don't know. So you're gonna go tight, 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 tight. As soon as you hear it touch, feel it touch, you're gonna back it off a quarter turn, and that's how it sits. So when it goes under load, it's not gonna stretch it, because if so, you're gonna have a hard time getting this undone. Why is there a hole in this pin? So you can put a screwdriver in and break it free in case that happens, right? All right, we'll leave that alone for now. What's this? What's this?
Exposure shackle.
A shackle. What's this? Soft shackle. So we make a shackle, we'll open up the eye right here, the loop, and then the ball, which is a monkey's fist, which you got, oh, we should do that one day, right? And then we're gonna tighten it down. So now we have a closed system, just like we have a closed system there. We're not just hooking something to another, or hooking onto a hook, or hooking onto something. And so we'll run this through wherever we need to run it through, and then we attach whatever we need to attach. What's the advantage and disadvantages of what's the advantage and disadvantage of this? What's the advantage?
Strength.
Yeah, in general, it's a touch stronger. All of these come in insanely high working load limits, almost as strong as some of these a lot of times. What's another advantage?
It's smaller.
What's that?
It's smaller.
Yeah. Well, for both of them, we would use one depending on like a tight space, right?
Yeah.
So if we have to really thread something through, or maybe hook something through, yeah. What's another advantage of this? Or actually, what would be a disadvantage of this? And then we'll come back to the advantage of this. What's the disadvantage of this? Sorry, I'm all being a little
Weight.
confused. Weight, which is what? Why do we care about weight? We care about weight in what? I got to carry it, right? So if I got 5 of these versus 5 of these, right? What else?
It's
We
small.
already discussed it. What's that?
It's small. So it's
Well, we'd say they both take about the same amount of room. This one's just heavier. What would be a disadvantage of this?
The threads will get stuck. And you might
Yeah,
not be-
possibly, but we know how to mitigate that.
It's not pliable.
What's that?
It's not pliable.
It's not pliable. So if we have to go around a corner, or we have to be considerate of, like some of these trucks have I think Nick's on the front has a front fascia or like a valance, right? So we don't want to, this will be a little bit more forgiving versus this. What's the other disadvantage of this? We already talked about it with the tow ball.
If it breaks, it's gonna smash.
Yeah,
something.
this goes flying through the air for some reason, not because this would break, but because this thing might break. Now you have this flying through the air, right? So what are the advantages of the soft shackle?
Can't hurt nothing.
Yeah, if this breaks, or the thing that it's attached to breaks, I mean, it'll fly, but it'll kind of come up and just flop down. It's not going anywhere. It's also lightweight, so now that's less weight I got to carry in my truck. What would be a disadvantage of this?
It can maybe easily break.
Very good. Why and how?
'Cause
And that's
But-
the advantage of this.
It's not as strong as that one.
No. Well,
It's rope.
let's just assume that
It
I'm
can-
only going to
it can
carry
get
soft
s-
shackles
it
that
can
have a
get
high
s-
enough weight rating for what I want to do.
It could get sawed down, or like the
Could slip through.
it could get cut. The friction. could cut.
Correct. So heat or friction. So generally speaking, for any rope or anything that's not metal, keep away from sharp edges. Do not sit, stand, walk, straddle on the rope. Protect from sharp edges. Right? So this, either heat will melt it and degrade its strength, or a sharp edge if it's rubbing, or just a sudden load over a sharp edge or sharp enough edge will cut it or partially cut it or sever it. So what's the answer? What do we use?
Both.
What do we carry?
Whatever you have.
Well, yeah, whatever you have, right? But we carry both. Very good. So I have these 3, which these are about the same-ish. And then I have this one, which has a little bit higher rating, but is a little bit longer. So if I have to go further up underneath something, or reach through, or whatever, I just need the length, and that's what I'll use this for. And I have this one bow shackle, and that's all right.